Hey everyone, Genome here, coming to you with a quick video and kind of an explanation of my spending habits or lack thereof in Marvel Strike Force. So I guess all this can be summed up with one simple question. Do I think you should spend money on Marvel Strike Force? Well, I mean, honestly, it depends. It's your money. Spend it as you see fit, of course, in all things. I myself can see zero reason to do it. For the simple fact is, once these servers are down, your investment is completely gone. So basically you're investing in time savings or investing in short-term gratification, but there's actually no investment long-term unless you're selling your account. But I guarantee you're not going to sell it for how much you dumped into it, right? If you're wailing out pretty hard. So long story short, I don't think you should spend money in this game, but I'll give you an alternative. If you are really a fan of the IP itself, you really like Marvel stuff, I would recommend, if you plan on spending money in this game, to spend it elsewhere and get something for your troubles other than, I don't know, time or a new character. Let's just take this one, for example, and I picked this one for a reason. You have a limited time offer here for $25. So basically 6 gold shards, or 6 gold orbs and 6 premium orbs. It sucks. So we're talking like, what, 40 character shards at best of who knows what, and maybe, I don't know, say 700, 800,000 gold on average, which is enough for, what, 2 levels? Once you get past like 65 or so, so not exactly a huge value for $25, but I'm going to show you what you can get Marvel-related for $25, and it is right in here. Now, I should have done this on a different camera, but whatever. This is a lot of comics that I won from eBay for exactly $25 with shipping. So hopefully I can do this without knocking the microphone over. So, and I got to try to hold it up so you can see it. I'm actually opening this. And you might be curious what you can get for $25 as far as comics go. Well, you can do all right if you look for some deals. You know, while I'm going to kill some more time while I'm actually opening this, why buy comics? Well, you know, as opposed to characters in Marvel Strike Force, this will actually hold some value over the years. They're never going to print these again, these specific ones, so it is something of a rare commodity. So there was a pretty bad issue in the 90s with overprinting comics, you know, actually late 80s, early 90s, and it caused the comic book industry to kind of crash, but it has since seen a resurgence, and even with these huge amounts of sold units, there's still enough scarcity in some of these books to warrant some good pricing. So I got this lot for $25 exactly after shipping. Sorry, I usually cut all this out. Okay. So we got 9 books, and these are all of a character that is actually in Marvel Strike Force. Boy, this guy really packed them well. Sorry, trying to cut the Mylar here. See if there's any to be had. That is, and let's go. And I'll give you a little explanation of why I think it's so much better to buy comics rather than spend money on Marvel Strike Force. For one thing, Marvel Strike Force is not a very good company as far as treating its player base well, right? They pull some pretty shady stuff. I do not see a point in rewarding a company like that with my money. That's another reason. So, man, there's tape everywhere here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to bend the book, too. Okay. Making progress. Okay. And let me just cut one more piece of tape here, and we should be good. Poly bags are all stuck together now, too. What a mess. Okay, so what can you get for $25 as far as Marvel goes? Well, I got Silver Surfer stuff here, a little lot. I do a comic show with some other people, and we'll be doing some of these books here in the very near future. I want to get 2 of these together to show you the kind of things you can get. I think one of them might be missing here. Unless it's... Oh, there it is. It's stuck together. So, first things, you might have noticed this one right here, Galactus cover, right? Silver Surfer. It's a two-parter from late 80s. What's so special about this book? Well, there's a couple special things about this. This is actually a Stan Lee story. He wasn't doing too many at this point at all. Another thing is the art. Okay, some of you might recognize who this is. This is Moebius. Moebius did not do Marvel work. He's a legendary artist from like the heavy metal days and like Dark Horse and all that, but he didn't work for Marvel too often. So you have a great little story here with Galactus, written by Stan Lee, and Stan Lee invented Silver Surfer, so it's like his baby. So just interesting stuff. I mean, you got Galactus fighting here, another cosmic being. You got some more earlier 90s Silver Surfer goodness here. I'm not going to go through everything here. Here they got the Fantastic Four going on. But here's kind of an important one for those of you who like Infinity War, right? Or the Infinity Gauntlet saga. If you like anything about MCU. Here's some more tie-in story. This is a foil cover. Embossed, too, so it's raised. So it's the 50th. It's a pretty famous book here, actually. And you got some stories of basically Thanos in there after he acquires the Infinity Gems. You got 100th Anniversary Silver Surfer thing. Well, once again, the hologram cover. Some people find it cheesy, whatever, and it's a very 90s thing, but whatever you're going to do. You got some Silver Age stuff here. Silver Surfer looks like an annual here. Really old stuff. Just classic. And then you got some Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to do a video on these guys, by the way. That I know, right, from the 90s that was kind of revamped much more than the movie stuff that you've seen, right? So this is amazing Ron Lim art. I'm a huge fan of Ron Lim, and he did great work on the Surfer. So there you go. I got 9 books there for $25. A couple of them which are decent books. Like these first two especially are kind of mini collectors, right? So yeah, this is the kind of thing you can buy instead of giving your money to Scopely. If what Scopely does upsets you and their practices anger you, don't possibly reinforce that behavior, right? To quote B.F. Skinner, right? It's funny because sometimes you'll watch content creators. They'll be railing about the business practices and how bad these offers are on that. And then as soon as the new character pops in, they just buy.
That's just about the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
$50, $100 on, 2 character offers right off the bat. Right now, you got Dagger up there for $20, I noticed, right before I got on here. So I'm sure that's selling like amazing, crazy right now. Same thing Silver Surfer was when they released him 50 shards at a time. But if you want to get out of that, but you still want to spend money in recreation, I highly recommend buying some comics. Buy cards, buy collectibles. Those things will not depreciate in value, for the most part anyway. And there's nothing in this game that's going to appreciate in value. And even, here's another thing that's a problem too, because they often talk about sunk fallacy costs and FOMO and all that. Well, I've got something even more, salient to the conversation. Your investments, if you're buying, you're buying Dagger right now, right, whatever. Not picking a hard or whatever. She's the newest, latest, greatest, right? You're dumping all kinds of money and resources in her. And then a year later, she's power crept out. And you might be using her on the fringes of things. But there's characters from like year 1 and 2 that are seeing like 0 play now. That I'm sure a lot of people dump money in. So it's not just a matter of, once the servers are off, you have no return on investment whatsoever. It's the fact that even while the servers are on, your investment is depreciating rapidly. And that's something that most content creators will not talk about. So it's awful. And I'll tell you something else that's bad too, because I see this a lot in Reddit, is the fact that Scopely or Boundless or whoever will not nerf characters that are blatantly OP or have issues just because it would make people mad since they dump money into them for that to happen. Well, that's how you balance the health of a game. Tons of other games nerf characters all the time. Or, like, I used to play Hearthstone quite a bit. They are always nerfing cards or buffing cards sometimes if they're underpowered, right? So I don't like that argument either. So there's just almost nothing they do when it comes to money I agree with, so I do not give them any money. I have spent $18 in this game, and that was a year or 2 ago. They had a couple of offers. One of them was 50 Ghost Rider shards for $5. I bought that twice. The other I know was Doc Strange. It was $2 for 50 shards. I bought that twice. And I can't remember, there was a third one. was it Groot or something? I might have bought it just so I didn't have to farm them. It was someone like that. Nothing, too important. Haven't bought anything since then. I started getting really pissed at him at that point, and I was like, I will not give those people my own money. So, hey, like I said, you do you if you want to give them money, but I'm just saying, if you find some of what they do kind of reprehensible and their whole game model to be questionable as best, I do not advocate giving money to that sort of company, because it just reinforces that behavior, and it's a lot of it seems somewhat predatory, right? I mean, and everyone has to have a modicum of self-control. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can't really blame them for wanting to make money on people, but I mean, the fact is, I don't agree with most of what they do. I don't find their product having any kind of return on investment other than enjoyment, right? You get nothing to show for it at the end of it. It's kind of like watching a movie in the theater. You might be going for the experience, right? But I'm the kind of person who just wait for it to come out on some other media and then buy it then, so I have it forever and watch it as many times as I want. So, I mean, that's more like just me. But yeah, there's no future in this game as far as return on investment unless you're maybe a content creator who's making money on clicks, right? And once the servers are off, your investments are all gone. The entire time you are investing in this game, your investments are depreciating rapidly due to the nature of power creep, which doesn't have to be that way. They could try balancing the game much better and incrementally increase power, not completely wipe the floor with anything that was released 2 years ago, making it virtually useless. So yeah, there's that. What say you? What would you do? What would you spend your money on other than this game if you were a spender in this game? And are you on the fence? Do you want to spend money in this game, but you're unsure? Like I said, I'll never advocate for telling people never to spend their money. Hey, spend your money how you like to. I'm just saying, as an investment, if you think of it like an investment, it's a pretty poor one. So then you're just paying for enjoyment, which is fine. But this is a lot of money to be paying for enjoyment, considering you get a Class A game or whatever for $60. Heck, you get a whole game system for $300, right? And you got years of enjoyment out of that. And here, you can spend that on one character. What do you really have to show for it? You didn't really finish anything. There's no end game. So yeah, that's my take on it. What say you? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, I don't know. Until next time, this is Genome, just loving him some Silver Surfer goodness that's not in Marvel Strike Force.